Welcome back, YouTube. We have another video today discussing a touchy topic: ammo prices and availability, what the companies are doing about it, and what it looks like for the future. First of all, this rant is brought to you by one of our commenters, one of our viewers. John K. mentioned this article. This here is from Zero Hedge. It is What the Great American Ammo Shortage Says About Inflation. You should look this article up. So before we get too far into this video, I just want to say thank you for everybody who already subscribes and likes and shares. But please, with this video specifically, share. The key is with this video, share it. I'm not trying to pull shenanigans to get through a YouTube algorithm. I'm just saying share. Everybody needs to know about this. If we don't share it around, if we don't keep watching, if we don't like this video, then it'll die, it'll go to the bottom, and people won't get to see it. So for right now, please, send it to all your friends. Send it to your parents. Send it to your brother. Send it to anybody who might care. Just share it. Please, get the word around. Thanks. The arm's already hurting me. I had to put the sling back on. And by the way, thanks for everybody who wished me well on the arm. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the comments. So first, before we get into what we're actually going to discuss here in modern days, we need to go all the way back to 1890, when the federal government passed the first antitrust law known as the Sherman Act. In 1914, Congress passed two additional antitrust laws. Those were the Federal Trade Commission Act, which created the FTC, and the Clayton Act. Those are the three federal antitrust laws we have still in effect today. This can be looked up at the FTC's website, which I'll show you right here. So I'm going to be putting a few examples up here on screen. I don't want to drag the video out forever, so what I'll do is I'll put them up there real quick, I'll pause for a second, and if you want to, pause your screen, take a look, read, and then resume the video. But I don't want to just leave it paused on the screen for hours. People are going to get out of here real quick. So here's a portion describing antitrust. Now we actually have the Sherman Act. The penalties for violating the Sherman Act? Here's a little piece about the Federal Trade Commission banning unfair practices. And here's the Clayton Act. Here's language about state laws. So I think in history, most people associate antitrust laws and anti-monopoly type of laws with John D. Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller was the owner of Standard Oil. He was brilliant. He was a businessman. And he did make a very efficient way to get oil, lamp oil, heating oil, across the country, using the rail system and by a method of purchasing up smaller companies underneath him and buying up the competition. He did monopolize the oil industry, Standard Oil. The government broke him up. The government said that that was not okay, and they broke him up. It benefited him in the end because he just sold off his companies and then he ended up reinvesting in all those companies. So the government made him a richer man than he would have ever been if he was just left alone. But the point is that the government was on the consumer side, and the government did not want to see one man and a railroad company, Vanderbilt, they did not want to see them controlling everything to do with oil and transportation. So they started to try to break these things up. Now, it's really crazy if you look at what they did do to John Rockefeller, and then if you look at what goes on today. They used him as an example. They created laws to go after him. They did go after him, and he was able to live his life and become a philanthropist, and everything was okay. After making those laws and doing what they did to him throughout history, those laws have been used sparingly at times and more rigorously at other times, but basically they've been used at the discretion of government. Now, companies have to apply with the government when they want to merge, and those mergers almost always get approved. So if we look at what goes on with the ammo company mergers, we're down to two companies now, Vista and Olin, and they're both highly profitable companies when they want to be, and they're both in bed with the government, period. I mean, there's no other way to say it. They sell to the government. They're military contracts with the government. They're federal, law enforcement agencies contracts with the government. That says a lot. Things go on behind closed doors. We all know that. So that's the situation we're dealing with right now. It's almost a state-sanctioned monopoly. They're able to do it. Nobody's going to go after them. The government's going to be the first one to lose. Now, am I saying that there's a monopoly going on? I don't know. I'm not that good at this to know for sure. Am I saying that there are antitrust violations? I'm not sure. I'm not a lawyer. I can't read into that deep. But I'm just giving you the information so that you understand what antitrust means and some of the history behind it and the laws. So you take that information and you work it around in your head and use it as you want to see fit. It makes me literally crazy thinking about it. But let me know in the comments what you think. I'm not accusing anybody of antitrust, and I'm not accusing of anybody of creating a monopoly. I'm just kind of accusing people of creating a situation where we don't have options. So a two-company system is like a two-party system, and we know how that's been going lately. So prospect.org also has a good article. It's a little bit older, but look that one up. That's called The Great American Ammo Conspiracy: Two Companies at the Root of the Shortage. So here's the problem with the two-company system. In 2016, Olin was awarded a contract with the government for $99 million. The problem with that is there was only one bid solicited. One bid thrown up, one bid taken. That's not competition. Self-admittedly, Vista focuses on long-term shareholder value. Speaking of that, you just have to take my word for it, but I was at a pretty big gun shop the other day, and I know the people in there. They are smart people. They know the industry inside and out. And I overheard a discussion, and it was between two people that were talking money. And the one guy was he was totally okay with what was going on with the ammo situation. He's a good guy. He's one of us. He's a shooter, but he's a well-prepared person. He's got stockpiles that'll last him the rest of his life, all the way down to his grandchildren probably. And what he was talking about is, he lost a lot of money in Bitcoin. However, he recovered all that money, went over here into the ammo situation. And what he didn't buy, and flip bullets. He didn't buy and flip receivers or guns or anything like that. He simply invested in the stocks of the companies that run the ammunition, the ones that control it. And if you look at their numbers, they're increasing. He said his portfolio is doing great. He was smiling ear to ear. He was laughing. He says this is great for him, for his retirement, and he couldn't be happier. When you have investors that are acting like that, and when you have companies that know that that's what their investors want, that's what we're going to get. So I'll put a couple of videos up here, and I'm going to link them in the description. Go check them out. They're from Vista. They're from Remington. It's all this Jason Vanderbrink guy. He seems, like he's a little bit cranky about a lot of the comments that have been coming in, a lot of the conspiracy theories, he calls them, and he's trying to address some of them. But tell me if you think he's honest and sincere. Tell me if you think he's being truthful about what's going on. I love the comments. The comments are what brought this video here today. The comments got me thinking. They got me down such a rabbit hole of looking into all this stuff again and again and again, like I've already done. But it brought it all together here today, and I thought I needed to make a video because if you remember, the ammo situation was only supposed to last temporarily. People were expecting it to last, when it first started, up till the next summer. And then people said, oh, well, maybe one more summer. And we're about to go into another potentially hostile environment when it comes to politics, not very far along down the road. And I think these companies know that. I think they're trying to drag this out as long as they can. They don't want to give people a chance to restock and resupply. That would be foolish. They want to keep it the way it is because they know we're going to get into another cycle of threaten 2A, and everybody's going to run out and they're going to panic no matter what the prices are at. And they're not going to start at a low price, at a regular price, at a normal price, and then start the panic and it's going to increase. What they're going to do is they're going to start at a high plateau that we're at right now, and they're just going to take it even higher. The panic's going to come again. Every single day, another person turns 18 and can buy a long gun. Every single day, another person turns 21. Multiple. I don't know how many, but a lot. But every single day, more people, hundreds, thousands, wherever you're at, depending on where you're at, people are able to buy guns. It's new people coming into the market. They don't know any better. They don't have a choice. They aren't able to stockpile 2 years ago because they were only 18 years old and mom and dad said absolutely heck no. But now they're able to, and they're going to run out, and the companies know that. All I can say, guys, is try to do your research. Try to figure out, where your ammunition is coming from. Some of the smaller companies, there are smaller ones out there. I love supporting Underwood. I love supporting things like Minuteman Munitions, Fort Scott Munitions. Until those companies get bought up by the big guys, who knows what happens down the road. These companies are in the business of controlling their competition. They buy up everything, and they have strategic plans to hold it back. It's like the Arabs and the Russians with oil. They know what they're doing. They hold back production. They spike up the prices. You'll read that in these articles. If you go to these articles, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So they know what they're doing. As soon as they see a threat, as soon as they see a smaller company start to do good and start to get a market and start to get popularity with decent prices and decent products, they'll buy their technology, or they'll just flat out buy their company or absorb their company, whatever you want to call it. They will turn that small company into their big company to protect their interests. It's what happens. There's lobbyists. It goes on and on. So This is the future of ammo, I think. They're really setting themselves up to be in control of ammo prices long term. They don't want to see a problem. They don't want to see a slump. They want to see output. They want to see profit. They want to have secure output for their product. And that's it. They're not going to let slumps happen again if they can help it. And it doesn't matter what they have to do to achieve that. Honesty is not part of big business anymore. Integrity and honesty is just not part of it. They can always put on a face. They can always put out a good person to go be a salesman. But behind the scenes, it's a totally different story. The people who own these holding companies and own these huge conglomerates, they're in it for the money. That's why they do it. They're businessmen. That's why they have what they have. They don't care about you and me, and it's unfortunate. Am I going to make friends in the industry like this? No, I've got a small channel, and who knows how many people I could really irritate with these kind of videos. But you need to see these videos. This is a bunch of crap, and I don't care if Federal gets mad at me. I don't care if Vista or Olin gets mad at me. It doesn't matter. I'll always shoot. I'll always figure it out. I'll melt lead if I have to make my own bullets. Whatever we got to do, we got to do. We're innovative people, and they need to realize that. And hopefully, other companies do come into the market. It's really hard. They've created a situation where they can't. And I'm not willing to rule out the possibility that the large ammo manufacturers lobbied somebody somewhere for this import ban on ammunition. They know how cheap we can get Tula, Brown Bear, and the other stuff, the Wolf, the whatever. They know that really impacted their sales. When you used to be able to get a pack of, or a case of 223 Wolf or Tula delivered to your door for $180 sometimes, $180, not $280, $180. I remember going to Rural King and picking up cases of 223 tool ammo right before the scrap started, $200. Walking into your local store, walking out with 1,000 rounds of 223, $200. So these companies hated that. Did they have something to do with this ban? I wouldn't doubt it. We've been backstabbed by some 2A companies before. Think about it. I'd like to thank everybody who's already subscribed, liked, and shared these videos around. You guys are helping. We need to spread this information. This video specifically, I'm asking you, please share this extra. Liking it is always good for the algorithm. Subscribing, of course, if you want to hear more information. But this video specifically, please share. Please throw this on your Facebook. Please throw this out to your friends. Email it to your friends. Text message it to your friends. Please send this out to your friends. Let's get the word out. This kind of stuff needs to circulate. Once it kind of dies in the algorithm, it just nosedives and it's not seen anymore. So we need to keep this going. People need to know what's going on. People need to start doing some critical thinking here. Thanks. That's my finger turkey.